So Jaka, you're a forester by education. You say you're also a geek, a mountaineer, a programmer, and you're one of the leaders of this cult that claims to be the biggest environmental project in the history of the world.
Well, I wouldn't call myself the leader of this cult. I'm the leader of the franchise in Slovenia. But of course, I have to admit we were the most successful so far. So maybe we are paving the way for others because this year it will spread around the world. So we'll see.
Brilliant. And so the situation is that some people have way too much stuff which they don't have space for at home. And so they use nature's great gift of free storage space. They use forests and mountains to put the stuff that they have extra from home.
Well, I wouldn't describe it like that, but yes, we're trying to preserve our nature, especially mountains. You know, they're very untouched by humans, and I have a penchant for mountains, so I'm especially attached. The forest also, we have, it's called the Dinaridic range in the Balkans here, so it's not so populated, so they're pretty clean. But still, some people, they drive their ways there, but I wouldn't just say that we're cleaning after people who are dumping or, let's say, storaging their stuff in the forest. We're cleaning stuff that was left there from the First World War, Second World War. It's an old debt that was incurred to nature.
Okay, so you're removing pieces of history.
Exactly.
Brilliant. I understand that last year you had about 250,000 people, which represents about 13% of the population of Slovenia, involved in this cleanup project. How many people did you have this year?
We don't have the final figures yet, but it will magically stabilize around the same number, 270,000 people. So it's between 13 and 14%. We don't have, well, we have the data from the day of the cleanup, but we haven't covered all the municipalities yet because they're still weighing the trash and counting and stuff like that. So I don't know, I find it pretty amazing.
So that's a lot of people who spend, what, 2 days cleaning up the country?
No, most spent 1 day. On the Friday, most of the school children and let's say the elderly, maybe even the preschool children cleaned around their schools or let's say litter on the streets. And on Saturday, people went to the forest, to the mountains, to the backyards and cleaned those stored goods.
Okay, so basically you've got 270,000 people cleaning the country. Isn't that a bit of a waste of time when all these people could be spending their money buying stuff and boosting the economy?
I wouldn't call it a waste of time because first, people had a great time doing something good. People are just ecstatic. We should do this more often. You know, people in the villages talking to their neighbors, doing something together they haven't done in years. And that's one of the underlying key points. In a day we can do so much, but it's just temporary work because it will get litter again sooner or later. We're working on long-term sustainability, but it's a long process. But the important thing is to get active citizenships going so we can also make other good changes, other good projects. You can do a lot if you have a lot of support.
So in your world domination plan, what is next after cleaning stuff?
Oh, well, the cleaning stuff turns out to be very simple because you just pick it up and relocate it somewhere. Other environmental issues are much harder to deal with. For example, if you want to clean the air, you can't say to volunteers, okay, let's catch all the particulate matter, 10 particles or something. Other problems are difficult to tackle, but one of our key priorities that we deal with is water availability. Slovenia is not scarce in water availability, but the terrain is karstic, so it gets easily polluted. So even this waste gathering, we try to prevent water supply pollution.
Okay, so it seems that you guys are taking on a lot of work there. This is the stuff that we pay taxes for the government to do. How bad do you feel about stealing government jobs?
Oh, government jobs, are you kidding me? The situation is not so well arranged as we'd like to, because Slovenia is so beautiful because it's so diverse. So we have a lot of forests, a lot of mountains, and it's all difficult, let's say, to traverse. The inspectorates can't handle so much terrain, and they have to handle so many issues and so much laws. It's really pretty easy to hide if 2/3 of the country are basically under forest.
Okay, and so last year you collected about 10,000 tons of illegal dumped garbage. How much did you collect this year?
I think it was a few thousand tons more, but this year we're happy that we collected between 1/3 and 1/2 less, which is a good sign. Like I said, we're also cleaning very old scenes, the mines and explosives I mentioned. It's not something we put there 2 years ago.
All this stuff that you're collecting then, obviously you must be making a lot of money by reselling all of that on eBay or something.
No. Well, we had a system of different colored bags so it could be sorted, at least partially. so it doesn't have to go all to the landfill. But then the other companies pick it up and they recycle it. The most profitable are metals. So basically car shells and stuff like that. And we're happy that the major partner that deals with this kind of stuff will give us a counter donation basically of all the metals gathered, so we can also cover some of the project costs.
Oh, brilliant. And the most exciting piece of garbage that you found?
Oh, I don't have any personal favorites, but people found basically plastic wrapping from 40 years ago. Because you remember the design and stuff like that. And 2 years ago, there was one very fun one. It entered in our photo competition, and it was a picture of a dildo and a whip. If you explain it in Slovenian, it's funny because it rhymes, basically.
And can you describe to me what kind of person wants to spend 1 or 2 days cleaning other people's stuff?
Well, a good-hearted person, an environmentally aware person, you care about your surroundings. My kids will grow up here. I drink water from here. I like to walk, I don't like to see garbage, so I'll do something about it, because if I'll wait for the others, nothing will happen.
Basically a bunch of weed-smoking hippies.
Oh, definitely not.
And so, if someone was crazy enough to want to keep helping, what would be your suggestion, or what should they do?
They should check the letsdoitworld.org site, because there's a list of all currently participating countries there, and if it turns out their country still isn't participating, they can seed the team and start it up.
Thank you very much, Jaka.
No problem.
It's been a pleasure to be able to ask you a few of these questions and to get your thoughts as to what's happening.